Yeah, but and that's
It's
exactly
really
it.
sure.
This is the evolution of what hip hop is. We saw it. We were supposed to nip this in the bud way back in the day, right? We had people who was doing a thing. Queen Latifah, Lauren Hill. We had people
Lauren
doing a
Hill.
thing. But then once we
Mhm.
start letting in the Lil Kims, once we start letting in
My
the Drakes
neck,
and all that, we were
my
supposed to nip it in
back.
the bud. She talking about sharing D right now, but all of them sisters that I just mentioned, they was talking about it in their raps too, about
I want
taking
to
your
ask
man and all of
you,
that. That is pretty much sharing D. That's the same thing. The only thing that's different is now it's just evolving, right? So you have to be more shocking, more shocking. The social media absolutely changed it. We know that because now it's not just your music, it's your brand now. And sometimes that will get you more shows, that will get you more attention, that will get you more money. So you just have to be more and more shocking. She represents to me what feminism has kind of done, just a perversion of what it originally was. And they allowed women to do this because it was liberating and you should be
Yeah,
able to express yourself sexually and everything else.
yeah.
You watched it happen because Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are almost that bad. And then Foxy Brown and Lil Kim were almost that bad. It's just an evolution of it. We allowed this to happen. It progressed into this. We told women it was okay to be comfortable with your sexuality and put it out there. This is what it looks like. We should have stopped this way back then. The only way to dead it, I don't even know if you could because we don't control the market. We not the
Hmm,
dudes. We don't control the market. The
that
kids
part.
do. They control the social media market. So that's the only way we can stop it is by parenting. We have to
Yep.
like not let them listen to it all together, right? Or definitely not emulate that. Definitely don't send them to a show. I would never send my kids to a show ever. They're not going to no concert like that. That's out. But young women are looking like, oh, I can do anything. I could do whatever I want. I could say whatever I want, and it's okay. Sexy Red is literally releasing a video uncensored. You could actually see like private parts in the video. That's what's dropping. She got a collaboration with somebody where they're like literally their legs are open. You can see spread open. You can see everything. So it's pretty
Yeah.
much
So can
A
evolved
y'all
music
into
video?
pornography
What the
right now.
hell?
That's
uh,
what a
So
music video. Yes.
I think
yeah,
Yes. That's what they're doing right now.
Sukiyama or
Trav,
That's what it's
whatever her
evolved.
name
That's
is.
what it's
Trav,
That's
devolved into. Huh?
Trav. Can I ask you a question? Sometimes I feel like parents don't actually feel like they have control or power over their kids. You see that, like people not telling them you can't wear this, you can't listen to that, you can't like. I feel like we more hands off nowadays in our generation. Maybe our parents were a little too controlling, so we kind of
a
back off. Do
lot.
you see that as well,
No, there's a
or is it
balance.
just
There's a
me?
balance, right? And this goes to back what we were talking about just now when I was talking about parenting. We have to have that balance. We have to have that trust. You have to have that open communication. If you don't do that, if you try to lead with an iron fist, that's going to suck. They're not going to listen. They're going to rebel, and then you'll see people like Sexy Red too. That's people rebel against that. You, like I said, you have to be. They have to be comfortable talking to you. You have to have that trust. If you don't have that trust and open communication, you dead. That's the main thing in parenting is trust and open communication. Any type of relationship, it's the same thing. Universal trust, open communication. If you can't talk to them and they can't trust to listen to you and think that your advice is sound, you failed already. That's the main problem. And for some people, it might be too late because you didn't put in that work in the beginning. That's the foundational years. If you miss that, you're likely going to have issues all the way through. So all I can tell is new parents, listen, y'all want to shut it down. You need to communicate with your children and have that trust, and you need to show them what's right. I've exposed my children all that, and I say it all the time. I've exposed them to this type of music. They know what it is, but I'll give it to them before the school give it to them, before their friends give it to them, and I'll give it to them with context so they know exactly what that means and why this isn't good for you and why we don't do this and why we rock this way instead. So, because they're going to be exposed to it one way or the other, because they're friends, you could try
Hmm.
to hide it from them and shield them. But guess what? When you shelter them, they're going to rebel too. All that tension that you is just going to snap like a rubber band when they turn 18 and they can do what they want to do. So, you have to give them this to see and you give it to them with context. And you be like, yo, you know what? This is what I think about it. And this is what it leads to. And you just got to give them that explanation. You have to sit down and talk to them sometimes.
I
I,
agree
I
with
just, I
you.
just got,
I
I just got to
definitely
say this real
believe
quick.
Ruth. Can I just say this part, Jr.? I definitely believe Ruth that it's not necessarily putting light on the music, but it's about putting light on what the music represents and the people that the music is actually talking about and the lifestyle that the music is promoting. That's what you have to talk to your children about. And I feel like they'll be able to decipher the difference in what they hear and what should be promoted for themselves and what they should subscribe to, right? Also, like their environments, like you can hear music. I mean, most of the people buying hip hop are not black. Like, let's be real. And it's cosplay for other cultures. It's cosplay. They don't subscribe to those cultures. They don't subscribe to that lifestyle. They listen to it for entertainment, and they go back to their lives in the suburb and what their parents say, and they go make their straight A's at the private school, and they live the life that their parents and their family designed for them to live. And so I think that you have to draw that strict line between, okay, this is entertainment, this is what this music is promoting. We don't stand for that. That's not what we promote. That's not what we live by. But they're gonna hear it, like you said. Once they leave the house, they're gonna hear it at school. They're gonna hear it at some point in high school. They're gonna hear it with their friends having their phones and AirPods and all of that stuff. You have to lay down and have those open conversations, like Travis is saying. You can't shield them from it. You have to inform them, advise them, and make sure they're informed on how to shield what they like their lives and what exactly they should want for their own particular lifestyle.
I agree with
Yeah.
you, but I would say that you said that other people are designing their life for their children, and we can do that as well. I feel like we so hands off and letting the kids decide. We need to design it. You don't have to force them or anything, but just kind of set it up for them to go a certain kind of way. You get to
Mhm.
Completely
decide what
agree.
school.
Completely
Yeah.
agree. A
So we
child
start
doesn't know what they
designing it
want.
more. The kids are not going to be in the driver's seat. You are until it's their time.
Lead up a
Correct.
child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart.
Right.
We need to instill the values of life into our young black uh, boys and girls. There's no the value of life, the value of self is damn near obsolete in our culture, and we see it often. There was just a coward that unalived three of his family members. I think I forgot what state it was. And there were people in the comment section asking to see the videos of him doing it. Black people, this is where we are in our culture, to where we have devalued our own selves so much that we want to see a coward unalive three members of his family. There was even a post where this broad, and I will call her a broad, there was a post where a broad made a comment sharing the post to the topic, saying that calling him John Wick Jr. You are a grown ass woman, a grown ass black woman at that, where most black women complain about not being protected,
Protected. Yep.
about not feeling comforted and all this other shit by black men. But here you are for some likes, for some goddamn likes. Here you are making a post about three black women losing their lives to a coward, and you jokingly say that he is John Wick Jr. This is where we are in our culture. And this is why when people say, oh, social media isn't real, no, fuck that. It is real. This is real life, because this is how people are thinking. That was the whole purpose of social media. That's why it's called social media. This is what people are thinking socially. So it's ridiculous that we have gotten to this point, and for whatever reason we ignore it. But the only time that we do pay attention to it is when a white police officer kill a black person or whatever the case may be. Then it's Black Lives Matter.
Hello. Hello.
But
Come
when
on.
we're doing it to ourselves, and a grown ass black woman is calling a coward John Wick Jr., and people are laughing at it, this is a fucking problem, bro. So at what point do we take the time out to start canceling these people that are literally sending our culture into the dump? You know what I'm saying? and start calling these motherfuckers out and saying, hey, no, this shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, we see you. It's on site, fam. You joking about this shit? It's funny. Oh, it's on site. And motherfuckers put hands on them. But no, we ha ha, we caca at it. It's amusing and all this other shit. And that and we doing it to ourselves.
But
So
how do you
it's
really change it though? Are you really going to change it by shaming people into not doing it? Or are we going to solve
yes.
the real problems and say maybe if you had a real good job, you wouldn't be worried about what's going on the internet? Like,
It don't matter if you got a good job because we just saw, I don't know if you saw it. We just saw a fucking judge acting the ass while she was getting arrested. A black judge. You know what I'm saying? So it's no, it the job,
you
the
get my
age.
point. My point is like I feel like people are hopeless, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying like, what is the real way to solve the real problem of us not taking things seriously? If we have real lives and real responsibilities and real like we actually believe that we can make something out of ourselves. I feel like we hopeless, so we don't care if somebody live or die.
Well, like I've already given a solution that I think is a start. I don't think we're gonna be able to help everybody.
No, we ain't gonna be able to help
Yeah,
nobody.
so you got to start inside your house. Try to say to youth. So make sure that your family, your husband, your wife, your sister, your mother, well, not your mother, but and then your sister and brother may be grown, but them damn kids, make sure you get them under control so that they not out here repeating the same things that's been going on.
Facts.
But it's going to take, in order to do that, it's going to take true sacrifice. I was having a conversation earlier with someone, and I don't think people truly understand what it means to be a parent. I'm always hearing the things that they're trying to do, things that they haven't had the opportunity to do. But once a child enters in there, then it becomes mostly about them. And if you're married, then it becomes mostly about your spouse. But I don't. It takes a lot in order to be able to raise children, like more than we think. It takes true sacrifice, which means we're going to probably have to be not doing a damn thing. I mean, that's like the reality of it. So, like, that's why they say they want maybe like the husbands to kind of work more or put themselves in a position to be able to have the wife stay at home, so that that child is getting a lot of training within the home and not necessarily from strangers. Because it's a lot of people that just do things for a paycheck. Police officers, podcasters. Who else we got? Teachers.
Preachers.
Yeah, preachers.
All of that, man.
So you really don't know what situation you putting your child in. And if they don't, if their upbringing was different, then they may be okay with certain things that may be against your religion or against your beliefs, but you have no control over that, because you want to know why? You're getting a break. You're getting a break. You get an opportunity to be able to work. Think about it. Even when you are off of work, you still sending your child to camp because you need a break, instead of taking that opportunity to be able to spend with them and seeing if you could pour a little bit more into them.
I don't know.
Hey,
We've always come from a working class group of people where motherfuckers was always at work, and there was a period of time where people knew how to act. Like, I don't know if the whole working or like there was a period of time where we knew what the hell to do. We had like 60
Queenie,
plus
I,
years.
I agree with that, but the world gonna always keep changing, and so either you got to change some things around. You can still keep some same principles. You can kind of control as much as you can, but when you send your child out there, the same principles that been holding all these years, they're not holding them out there. So then when you release your child to there, then it's like you don't know what your child is getting into now.
But
And
at
then
that
you
point,
do have the
but at that point, whose fault is it? Is it our fault that we let our community slip so far down the
it
drain
is
that,
our
that
fault.
I don't think it's necessarily us controlling our community. You can only control what's within your house. So when you send your child out there, then they got to know how to battle. They got to know how to represent the family name the correct way. So that is your fault if your child is going out there and they're not representing the family name the proper way.
Facts.
But the only thing that I'm saying is that the world is shifting and changing, and if you're not aware of what's going on, then how can you properly prepare your child? If you keep saying, well, we used to know how to do it. Yeah, we did used to know how to do it.